Welcome back. Chapter 10. Can you babysit the twins, Grandma? Oh, Lord. I was just dropping BB King off at the groom shop when Cinnamon called. He got some kind of prickly thing stuck in his fur and it had matted. He hates the groom shop, but I love how good he smells and how shiny his coat is when I pick him up. When? Today, about 1. No, noon would be better, Grandma. You mean you trust me with the 2 babies? Of course I do. They're good babies. They won't give you any trouble. What time do you want to drop them off? Oh, I need you to come here. It's too much to pack them up. Besides, it would be nice for you to see what Jonas and I have done to the apartment. And we will even be able to pay rent soon because Jonas has been promoted to manager in seafood at Whole Foods. He's thrilled, even though he smells like fish always. And I'm going on a job interview today for a production assistant job on The Voice. That's why I need you to babysit. But don't you have to have experience? Not for this. But that saying, "is who you know," is so true. One of the executives from the show shop at Whole Foods, and Jonas told her all about me, including that I sing. Oh, Lord, again. That's great, Cinnamon. I'll cross my fingers for you, sweetie. So tell me, what can they do since the last time I saw these little cuties? Giggle and gurgle. They think they're talking. Follow you with their eyes, kick their feet up and down, and sleep and sleep and sleep. So you might be bored. Well, I can't wait to hug them. So noon at your apartment? How about 11? Because there's always traffic and I do not want to be late. And what time do you think you might be back? Not sure. I have no idea how long the interview will last. I've never been on a real one. I'll call to give you heads up. It shouldn't be more than 3 hours. You think you can handle that? Would you mind if I asked your Aunt Odessa to help me? Actually, yes, I would mind. I love great Aunt Odessa, but I'm not sure I trust her around my babies. She's rather impatient. Plus, I think she got a job. Okay, I'll ask one of your pretend aunties, unless you have objections to any of them. No, as long as they don't wear any perfumes. And I would prefer if they had their natural nails rather than acrylic because of chemicals. Not a problem. Oh, but it was. I have acrylic nails, but I certainly wasn't going to mention it. Out of all the chemicals out there that would actually harm a child, what was under my nail polish was not one of them. These holistic folks sometimes go too far. Just a minute. Has your mother seen the baby since the hospital? No, and I would prefer that you not mention her to me right now, Grandma. Why? Because she had Aunt Peggy call me to ask if she could borrow $200 to help her with rent because she was a little short. Oh, okay, so I did have it right. Jalicia, yeah, she is her mom. Okay. Are you serious? Did you happen to get Peggy's number? No, it's a block number, which was why I answered it. No one calls us with a block number, so I thought it was important. Anyway, I asked if I could speak to my mom, and she said she was indisposed. So I said, "So am I," and hung up. If she calls back, would you get her number? Tell her it's because you might be coming in to some money soon. Maybe it'll be the truth. I don't want you to worry about this right now, Senna. Just think about getting that job. Pretty? No, no, no. Anyway, Grandma, I'll see you soon and thank you. Jalicia has my number. Why didn't she have Peggy call me? Yeah. Okay. It felt like it's been a century since I'd watched one baby, let alone 2 of them. They say you don't forget, but I thought I'd feel safer if I had some help. So I dialed Corinthia. I know she likes children of all ages. She's got 8 or 9 great-grandkids in San Diego that she visits on a regular basis, and occasionally they spend weekends with her. She complains about it, but she loves it. Before I can even say hello, she says, "Hey girl, please tell me you're calling to tell me you're ready to start working out." Soon, I'm gearing up, Co. Actually, I was wondering if you might have time today to help me watch my great-grandkids at Cinnamon's from about 11 to 3. And no, I'm not offering to pay you. Girl, I wish I could, but I can't. I'm on my way to San Diego right now. My son is having issues with those damn pills again, and he did some stupid shit, so I'm going there to kick his ass. But I've also paid for him to go to one of those 28-day programs where they wean him off the drugs and give him some kind of psychological assessment. The only thing that's wrong with Bird is he likes getting high, but he's going, even if I have to beat his 6'4" ass. I'm really sorry to hear that, Cole. Know that he's in my prayer and keep me posted on how it goes. I will. Have you asked Sadie? No, and I'm not going to. She doesn't know anything about children. I'll just do it myself. After all, I've got 2 arms. Good luck with Bird, Cole. And please, only do the speed limit. Love you, girl. I've been too scared to take the diabetes medicine. I picked it up at CVS, but so far I have only looked at the orange bottle with my name on it. I did decide to get one of those little gadgets to prick my finger so I can keep track of my glucose levels. I also discovered that granola, which I thought was healthy, actually has a lot of sugar in it, and to my surprise, was not meant to be eaten on a daily basis. In fact, when I Googled stuff diabetics shouldn't eat, it didn't seem as if there was much left I should eat. At least not what I liked or what I was used to. If Carl was here, he would make sure I did this right. But then again, he kept his health problems a secret. At least I have company in my misery. Even if BB King doesn't know it, he's on a diet now too, because his last trip to the vet was disappointing. He needs to lose 10 pounds and a doctor upped the steroid medicine for his arthritis, which had flared up due to his weight gain. The doctor blamed me. I left the house at 10:30, even though it only takes 15 minutes to get to Cinnamon's apartment. I knew I was going to need at least 15 minutes tutorial, and I wanted the little ones to feel comfortable with me before Cinnamon walked out that door. The 7-story brick apartment building is nice. Carl renovated each apartment one at a time and put good lighting in the hallways and good outdoor carpet in front. We put in brand new appliances, and each unit had a washer and dryer. The bathrooms used to be depressing, but we uplifted them too. We also haven't jacked up the rent every year because we didn't think our tenants should be penalized for us choosing to make their building a classy place to live. Cinnamon buzzed me up. I walked through 2 doors and took the elevator, which is still old but beautiful, up to the 3rd floor. I could hear baby laughter when I rang their bell. I admit, I was shocked when I saw Cinnamon wearing a real dress that came to her knees in a solid color, burnt orange, and on her feet was a pair of black patent leather 3-inch pumps. She wore a bracelet that was not made of string or beads. Her hair was pulled up in a ponytail, and Lord have mercy, the child was wearing makeup. I knew God had stepped in if the possibility of getting a legitimate job had made her do all this. Hallelujah. Hi, Grandma. Come on in. They've been waiting for you. And there, in 2 swings side by side, smiling at me, were 2 brown babies with cluster of black curls on their little heads, who were so perfect they almost didn't look real. I walked over to them, not sure which one to pick up first, but I took them both by the hands and said, "Hi there, remember me? I'm your great-grandma." They bounced up and down as if they already knew it. "They are so happy to see you. But let me just give you a few tips, and don't worry, I'm not going to ask you to do all the things Jonas and I do, just as long as they're still alive when I come back. The long and short of it is their bottles are in the fridge. They'll be ready to go down for nap in about an hour, and when they wake up, they'll be ready to eat. Their diapers are in their room. You still know how to change a baby, right?" Let me think. And then I laughed. They love music, especially if you sing to them. The big alphabet pad over there is where you can lay them on their tummies. They enjoy playing with each other and with their toys, especially the ones that make noise. Any questions, Grandma? Not that I can think of. Wait, what do I do if they cry at the same time? I usually just sit on the floor and put one on each side and sing. They always stop, unless there's something in their diaper. She bent down and kissed me. Wish me luck. We need this. I need this. I'm ready to join the real world, Grandma. Not just because of them, she said, pointing to the twins, but because of me, and she pointed to her heart. It's called growing up, Cinnamon, and I'm very proud of you and Jonas. If it's meant to be, the job will be yours. Good luck, sweetie. She gave her babies one more kiss without messing up her lipstick and went out the door. I turned around slowly to look at these little humans, and they started rocking in their swings as if begging me to pick them up, which I did. I laid them on their bellies on the spongy alphabet carpet. At first, they looked at me and then started gurgling and entertaining each other. I felt a little obsolete. So I got down on my hands and knees and rolled over on my back, and I pulled them up on top of me. And I did not remember feeling this much joy since my husband told me we were spending my birthday in Palm Springs. I fed them. I checked their diapers every 15 minutes, praying they were only wet, which they were. Hallelujah. They had apparently learned patience by being twins because one waited for me to change the other. I gave them bottles, and as I sat there and watched them on their alphabet mat, I started singing some songs I didn't even know I still knew the words to. They seemed to like it because they started singing along with me in their language. Try as they might, their tones began to get lower, and then, almost in slow motion, they stopped moving, and their eyes started blinking more slowly until they stayed shut. I got blankets from their bedrooms and gently placed them over them, and after an hour, I dropped down on my knees to make sure they were still alive. When they both started snoring, I just sat there waiting for them to cry, but they didn't. They stayed in that same spot for another hour until their mother walked in the door. When they heard her voice, they stirred and smiled, and after she kicked off those pumps, Cinnamon told me she got the job, and I started clapping, and Pretty and Handsome looked like they were trying to. Oh, congratulations, Cinnamon. I finally took a pill, even though I didn't want to. I was afraid that if I started taking them, I would always have to take them. But that little needle on my new glucose monitor hurt like hell when it pierced my skin, and watching those numbers go up was downright terrifying. Was I going to live or die today? I decided I would take the medication and check my numbers once every week or two, but starting next week. I also plan to go see Mom because I hadn't seen her since Odessa started working there, but she called to tell me she had a cold and also not to expect any of her writings in sight until she could think of some. I wish I could write Jalecia. I tell her how important she always was to me and still is. I tell her that her brother Jackson was an addition to our family, not her competitor. Oh. Could that be why she didn't want her to have another baby? I tell her how much energy I spent trying to make her feel important. I think my daughter might just be angry at herself for not making smarter decisions and being unwillingly to accept any responsibility for them. I can't fix that. I just pray she doesn't give up on herself. So, Corinthia said to everybody as we assembled for our group dinner at her house again because they still didn't think I was ready even though I felt like I might be. Lucky pretended Joe was sick and Sadie had just moved into her tiny apartment, didn't even have a table yet, and was too cheap to have her turn at a restaurant. This is the deal. I did not cook, and you should all be wondering why. I'm not. But I would like to pay for whatever it is you ordered since it is my turn. And I don't smell any recognizable aroma coming from your kitchen, Lucky said. How thoughtful, Miss Thang. You can pay me later. I order from Grubhub. You will hear about it after we imbibe. And yes, that's a new word I've added to my vocabulary. Get used to it. The adulteress, who was not looking so blissfully, simply said, I hope it's something light because I feel heavy. Don't ask. What did you order, Cole? Chinese, and you will eat it. How soon before it gets here? Lucky asked. Slow your roll, Lucky. How about asking if I need any help? Do you need any help with anything, Co? Yes. You can help us all by keeping your negative thoughts to yourself this evening. We all laughed, except Lucky. In fact, in fact, since Sadie was distracted checking her cell phone for messages, Lucky gave Co the finger. Then I gave the finger to Lucky, and we all started laughing again, except Sadie. So what dishes did you order? Lucky asked. I hope not those string beans and that stuff with the scrambled eggs in it again. I ordered pot stickers and various types of chow fun and a lot of other shit you will eat. Where's the wine? I asked. Where it always is, Co said. According to Grubhub, the food should be here in 5 minutes. Just then, the doorbell rang and scared the hell out of all of us. We headed to Co's cool dining room. She liked glass, so the table was burgundy glass and the chairs were deep pink silk. One wall was filled with photos of her grandkids at all ages. I've always thought they should be on the wall headed up the stairwell, but I kept my thoughts to myself. Sadie and Lucky, pay attention, Corinthia said as she handed the delivery guy a $10 bill. This is called a tip. Thank you. The delivery guy had a wide grin on his face. How much change? He asked. No change, Co said, and he almost skipped off her beloved front porch. Co has rocking chairs out there, and since she lived in this house almost 30 years, I can't count how many times we've sat out there and just rocked, sometimes without saying a word. We went into the kitchen, washed our hands, and then sat down as Co started pulling out all of the round containers with plastic lids in the white boxes that we knew were pot stickers and brown and white rice, and the fortune cookies, at least 10 of them. I was praying I'd pick a good one. Is Poochie joining us this evening? I asked. No, but she called. She didn't want me to tell you, but I'm telling you anyway. She might have to have her hip replacement surgery sooner than she thought. We're all falling apart, Lucky said. No, we are not, Lucky. And no negativity tonight, got it? I'm sorry, she said. Okay, this is the deal. I finally got some good news to share. So, shall we eat first? Co said. Even though I would like to eat right now, I'm all ears, Lucky said, shocking the hell out of all of us. Just don't mention anything about love, Sadie said. I agree with you, Sadie, Lucky said. We all looked at Sadie, wondering what had gotten into her. Although we assumed her honeymoon was probably over, we were not about to ask. Then let's eat, I said. And we did. And when we finished, everybody except Sadie had another glass of wine. So, Corinthia said, my good news is that Bird has been in a 28-day program now for almost 2 weeks. And even though he's been going through hell withdrawing from those dreadful pills so many folks are addicted to, he's almost over the hump and told me he's going to stick it out. Everybody, including Lucky, made one hard clap, then threw fist pumps in the air. Sadie followed up by bowing her head, so we let her pray like she always does and waited for her eyes to open. When she did, we saw tears rolling down her cheeks, and I knew they probably weren't for Bird. Co continued, thank you all. Now I'm going to shift gears here by asking a very personal question since we've all known each other since high school and it pertains to my current life. We all look somewhere between curious and suspicious. What's the most orgasm you've ever had in one session? This caught us off guard. Why would that be any of your business? Lucky asked. That probably means you haven't had one, I heard myself say, and then wish I could take it back. 3, Sadie blurted out. So that's what made you fall in love with that minister then, huh? Lucky asked. Sadie just put her chin in her palm and stared Lucky in the eye. 4, I said. Back in the good old days, Carl knew how to please and please and please, and everybody laughed except Lucky. What about you, Co? I asked. We're tied, Lo. I don't think I ever had one, Lucky said. There, the truth is out. But to be honest, I don't care. You can't miss what you've never had. It's because you're mean and your karma is bad, Sadie said. Okay, let's stop. Enough. I was just curious, Cole said. Wait, you said the personal question pertained to your current situation. What and how? I asked. Okay, Corinthia said with a smirk on her face. So you guys already know I've been on a senior dating site and met a few old farts. Well, the last one, Lloyd, I went out with 4 times and finally decided to have sex with him. Everybody leaned forward. So anyway, we were at his house, the one his wife died in, I might add, which did not make for great foreplay. It's a very nice house over by the Lincoln Hotel. Anyway, we were getting touchy and I realized he was already very excited, if you get my drift. And when I took off my clothes and he saw how fit I was, he looked like he wanted to get a plate and fork or something. But to make a long story short, Lloyd had taken a pill while we were at dinner. And Lord, I cannot even tell you how long that man's miniature erection lasted. I was just watching the clock, getting pissed off because he kept asking me to turn this way, that way. And after what felt like years had passed, I finally pretended I needed to go to the bathroom because I was trying to figure out how I was going to get the hell out of there. He was still at attention when I got back, and then he wanted to get on the couch. We tried up there for about 10 painstakingly minutes, but then he pulled me down to the carpet and he was moving like a jackhammer. I felt sorry for him, but when he started yelling, "Ride it, girl," I heard myself yell, "Give me something to ride." Ooh. Apparently that hurt his feelings, but I didn't care. And I sat up and said, "How many of those pills did you take?" He said 2, and that's when I jumped the fuck up, put my clothes on, and told him to go find a prostitute and do not call me anymore. We were in tears by the time she finished. Well, there is no way I can top that, Lucky said. But my news is that I'm going to do the gastric bypass because I realize I have no self-control and I just keep getting bigger and bigger and I don't want to die this size. Don't think that way, Lucky, Cole said. Yeah, please don't, I said. But it's not a bad idea. I should have done it a long time ago. How soon? I won't know until I get a physical to make sure I won't die on the table. How does Joe feel about this? I haven't told him. That's ridiculous, Lucky. He's your husband, Corinthia said. I do not for the life of me understand why he has tolerated your mean ass all these years. I needed to lighten up the conversation a little, not a lot, so I said, well, I've decided to ask my real estate tycoon friend Corinthia to help me start looking for a new space for the House of Beauty. And I finally started taking diabetes medicine because I don't have enough willpower to do what it takes on my own. But one day soon, I will change the way I eat and make exercise part of my life. Taking diabetes medicine is nothing to be ashamed of. And Carl hasn't even been gone a year. So cut yourself some slack, Sadie said. Then she cast her eyes down, and I knew I'd been right that those tears hadn't been for Bird. I'm being punished for what I've been doing, Sadie whispered. George told me his wife found out about us. He is leaving our church because he violated the rules of marriage in the eyes of God. He said he was sorry for giving the devil the power and that he was sorry if he broke my heart. What did you say? I asked. I said, fuck you and good luck finding a new church. You swore? Corinthia asked. It's about damn time. And isn't it ironic it took a preacher to get you to do it? I said. Are you leaving the church too? Lucky asked. Yes, but I don't know where I'm going to start worshiping. Even though she's been stupid, I can tell her heart was broken, which was why I reached under the table and took her hand and squeezed it. Pray on it, Corinthia said. Lucky stopped herself in the middle of rolling her eyes and turned to me. So, Lo, now that you seem to have gotten used to Carl being on permanent vacation in heaven, we think he's probably wondering when you're going to get around to fulfilling some of those promises he made you make. I went to Sadie's church. That's one down. I'll get to the other ones in due time. Well, the clock is ticking. You're going to have another birthday in about 4 months, so get on it. I gave her a thumbs up with a smirk. Corinthia grabbed a fortune cookie. Okay, since I'm hosting, I'll read mine first. A good way to keep healthy is to eat more Chinese food. Corinthia tossed that one in the air and grabbed another one. You will marry your lover. Oh, hell to the no, I won't. Read yours, Lo, and if it's better than mine, I want to trade. We all started laughing. I opened my cookie and read, be able to recognize your prime at whatever time of your life it may occur. I gave my cookie a thumbs up, then devoured it. Lucky snatched hers. A conclusion is simply the place where you got tired of thinking. That's a good one. No shit, she said to the fortune cookie and then plopped it in her mouth. Sadie read hers. Do not mistake temptation for opportunity. We all shook our heads and muttered, you think? Okie dokie then, Corinthia said. Now that we all know where we're headed, when do we start? And that's the end of chapter 10. That was a nice chapter. I say that all the time, right? You can tell I like this book. But it was a nice chapter, and it touched a little bit on why Jalecia and her don't like her mother. It sounded like she kind of like felt left out once Jackson came, or felt unseen once Jackson came. But the drinking part now, I want to know, how did that happen and when did it happen and stuff like that. So yeah, so she started the diabetes medicine, so that means she's trying. Sadie stopped messing, well, the minister stopped messing with Sadie because the wife found out. That's good. And Corinthia is a whole hot mess with her Viagra man. But that's all I have for this chapter. I shall see you in chapter 11. Bye for now.